This is the brake rotors assembled again. Painted the calipers. I have the paint information. Came out really good. Really happy with the way it turned out. Uh, Basically, I just gave it a really good cleaning using degreaser and a little bit of brake cleaner, not too much, mostly degreaser. And it's just easier and cheaper that way. And then let it all dry really good, then blew it out, and then brake cleaner, and then some more cleaner. Cleaned it several times and got the metal as clean as I could. And then before I took the old rotors out, covered everything in plastic, left everything in place. The only thing I took out was these clips, painted them separately. Everything else was in place with the old rotors, old pads, old everything. Covered it up really nice, and then sprayed it with primer, let it dry for about 10 minutes, sprayed it with the high heat, it was a high heat primer, then high heat paint color that I wanted, which is, I'll show you the can in a minute here, and then also the high heat clear. And I decided I wanted to go as close to OE color as possible because I really didn't want a flashy color this time, and I wanted to look like what might have come from the factory, and I really liked the way this came out. And it really accentuated all the markings and everything really nicely, so it just looks really nice in OE. See, all original looking. Went back with original OE pads, OE type rotors, and it took a few hours to do it this way, but it was worth it. Came out really nice. Okay, so I had planned on replacing my brake rotors and pads on my 2001 M5, and I wanted to take the opportunity to clean and paint the calipers. So what I did was, this is more of an after the fact type of thing, but I just wanted to kind of cover what I did. I took industrial cleaner, so any kind of purple cleaner works, about 4 or 5 ounces of it, rest with water, and I sprayed the entire caliper, rotor, everything. As soon as I took the wheel off, just sprayed everything with that first and let it sit for a few minutes. And then I used just a plastic brush, no metal brush, no metal bristles, just plastic. Just a nice, good, sturdy one, and scrubbed everything as good as I could. And then I hosed it off with water, and then I used the foaming cleaner and let it sit for a few minutes, and then again hosed it off, and then I gave it a quick shot with brake cleaner and just let it dry. And then I took a scrubbing pad, this is one of those Scotch-Brite type pads, scuffing pad, and I cleaned and scuffed the entire metal of the caliper again with this. And then once I was done with that, I used the foam cleaner again, let it sit and soak and carry away all the dust and debris gently again, rinsed it off again. In between, I would use this brush to kind of agitate it all, but mostly let the chemicals do their work and then rinsed it off. And I did that a few times, and then finally I gave it a clean again with the brake cleaner and let it dry. The concept there is I kept doing it with the foaming cleaner and watching the dirt come off the calipers. I did it 4 or 5 times probably altogether. And when I saw the foam come down off the caliper but was not dirty, it was nice, still white and clean, then I knew that the calipers were as clean as I was going to get them. So that worked out really well. The other trick is I did it on a hot day. It's a little uncomfortable, but it was nice to be able to dry everything off easily, and the metal gets really hot, and that helped everything with cleaning and adhesion. So once that was done, the next step was to get the paint on there. And what I did there was I used Duplicolor paint, and I think it's important to use the same brand across so they match well. They bond to each other well. So I first started with the primer. I used the high heat or engine enamel primer with ceramic. Again, once everything was nice and clean, I gave it one nice, fairly medium-sized coat. Medium is not too thin, not too thick, coat with it. And it actually flashed and dried in less than 10 minutes, which was really nice. I could touch it really nicely everywhere with less than 10 minutes. Once I gave that 10 minutes to dry, I went with the Duplicolor enamel with ceramic again, but this time I chose a color. It's called cast coat iron. I chose that because it looked very close to metal color, factory, OE type, what might have come with the factory, you know, from the factory type of thing. Really like the way the color came out. I've done flashy colors in the past, reds, yellow, blue, silver. Even silver is really nice too, but this I like the best so far. After I let this dry for about 10 minutes, it was nice and easy to dry to the touch. I went with the, again, engine enamel gloss clear with ceramic again, and same thing. I just sprayed it on medium thickness and let it dry. I didn't get any runs at all. Metal was nice and hot. It just, the paint got on there and dried so fast. It was just nice and smooth and even. Everything looked beautiful. So I highly recommend this method. And you'll see in the pictures and in the video how it came out, but in person it looks really great. See how light I'm going? You taking a video? Here's how they look all installed. Looks very stock and OE to me.